Hey there, hockey fans. The moment is here. It's NHL March Madness, as I love to call it. The final stretch of in this season. The playoff push. It's here, and I'm here for it. I know every single one of my fellow hockey fans are here for it too. March is the final full month of the regular season, and it's gonna be crazy. It's the third day of the month. It's early in March 3rd, but it's the first of 46 remaining days of the NHL season. And here's how things look, starting with the Eastern Conference. In the Eastern Conference, as you can see, it's March 3rd, and the Maple Leafs are leading the Atlantic Division by 1 point, but it's a lead. The Florida Panthers are in second place at 77 points. And it's going to get kind of interesting because they're going to be without Matt Tkachuk for the rest of the season. The Tampa Bay Lightning, winners of 8 in a row, have 74 points and are knocked in the Metro. Washington still holding a strong lead with 84 points, 10 ahead of Carolina, who's been kind of up and down lately. And of course, Mikko Rantanen hasn't been working out quite yet for them. The New Jersey Devils had 72 points, hanging on to third place. And like I said, it's basically Carolina, New Jersey, job for second. In the wild card standings, Columbus and Detroit are in the spots with the Blue Jackets having the number one wild card spot, and Detroit holding the number two wild card spot. If the season ended right now, Columbus would be playing against Toronto. They met in that qualifying round back in that bubble. We all remember how that ended. And Detroit we played Washington. First playoff meeting since the Cup final in '98. Now let's see what's going on in the West. In the Western Conference, the Central's top three remains the same, unfortunately. Winnipeg's leading the way with 88 points. The Dallas Stars with 80, and the Minnesota Wild at 74, sneaking 2 points ahead of us after winning 1-0 over the Bruins. In the Pacific, it's Vegas with the lead with 78. Edmonton is 74, and the LA Kings have 70. The wildcard standings show the Avs at 72, but it's the Calgary Flames who moved past Vancouver for the second wild card position. They played the same amount of games, but Calgary has one more regulation win, and that's the difference. Vancouver's still hanging in there, and so are the Blues. The Blues entering the Four Nations break were kind of a little bit out of it, but now they're 1 point out of a spot. So is Utah, and even the Ducks kind of have a legit shot, and that's more than I can say for the teams below them. So yeah, those are the standings. Now I kind of want to break things down just bit by bit quickly, beginning with the top three in the Atlantic. Toronto has really a good chance to win their first division title since 21, and their first in a full season since 2000. They're doing well. They just got to stay the course, and it helps. And it kind of helps them a bit that Matt Kachuk's gonna be out for the year. That might hamper Florida for a bit, but they still have to watch out for Tampa. Tampa is on a roll. A lot of people thought, well, Tampa's run could be over. Not so fast. Tampa can really do some damage. They could actually move past both teams if neither the Panthers nor the Leafs are careful. It's going to be very interesting in the Atlantic for the rest of the way. I'm basically looking at what the Metro's going to be for the rest of the year. Well, in Washington's case, they're going to win that division. But the only things that might change could be Carolina and New Jersey. Like I said, this is basically a race for second place between those two teams. And I don't know who's going to get it, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting race because, like I said, second and third place in each division, they play each other in round one. Second place guarantees home ice. You want that home ice. So Carolina looks like they got a shot of getting that second place spot, but if they keep swapping like this, they might fall behind, if not fall out of the top three. Fun fact, this was the playoff matchup in 2009 when the Blue Jackets made the playoffs for the first time in franchise history. And back then, these two teams were in the Western Conference. Now they're in the East. And these two being above the line is just amazing. It's just amazing, especially in Columbus's case, given the obvious reason they're doing it. They're doing it for him, folks. They are, and it's gonna be an interesting race in the East the rest of the way because you have those two, and Ottawa. Ottawa kind of fell off, but they're still in it. The Rangers have a bit of a shot. Montreal's winning games. It's going to be crazy to see how this all unfolds. This does not please me for obvious reasons. If Boston had scored just twice in those final 20 minutes, this picture would be a different story. It would be our logo right there. But those Bruins idiots couldn't score even if they were living in the net. But anyway. Peg pretty much has this on lockdown. They had 11 game winning streak end, but it's turned into 11-1-1 in the 13 games. They are dangerous. They are dangerous. They're not going to be knocked off the Central Division post. So basically, like I said, like with the Metropolitan, Dallas and Minnesota are jockeying for second, and hopefully we're going to be part of this too. But it should be interesting to see how the Central Division, well, second place goes down the line. I hope we get it. I hope we get at least second because we need home ice. We need home ice and move past those two, you know. But it's going to be interesting. The Pacific is not as close as the Atlantic, but it's pretty close. LA still kind of has a shot at least getting the second. First, it's kind of ambitious. But I just hope LA just moves at least to second place because I think a lack of home ice is probably why they were unable to beat the Oilers. You need home ice. Home ice is very important, even though various postseasons have proven it's not. I mean, look at the Panthers 2 years ago. But if the Kings move up to second, and if they get the Oilers again, Game 1's in LA, we may see the Kings actually topple the Oilers. Or it would be something that they move past both teams, but I don't know. That's a bit too ambitious. Vegas seems to have their shit together at the most part, but it's going to be an interesting race in the Pacific, and of course, it's just going to be amazing as hell to see what happens in the next 46 days. Yes, something new has been added. So, yeah, my boys, we're still in our same spot. We're only 2 points behind Minnesota. I think we'll get back in that winning groove. Hopefully Minnesota will still be napping and we can just swoop in, pass them, and then hope to pass Dallas, you know. But Calgary, let's talk about them. Calgary, it's been kind of an enigma. They've been up and down. So is Vancouver. Thing is, Calgary's a little more up than down, and Vancouver, they're still shaky. And even crazier, you got the Blues and Utah not on their heels. It's pretty interesting. Part of me hopes Vancouver does make it, but I'm kind of intrigued with Calgary. If Calgary can pull this off and steal a spot, who knows? Maybe they could pull off a crazy playoff upset. After all, they've been on the receiving end of one before. But we'll see how this develops. But it's an interesting race. It's not as cluttered as the East wild card race, but it's very interesting. And that is the playoff picture right now. Obviously, no teams have clinched spots. I think Winnipeg is the closest, but they'll need about 10 or 11 wins to get there. So we'll see how the next week unfolds. I don't expect any clinches in next week, but next week I'll be back with another update. So that is my video. If you like this video, click the like button. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe if you want more. If you're on TikTok and Instagram, feel free to hit that follow button. My story on Vocal about this, the link is up above. Check it out where you can, and I'll be back next week to talk more hockey. So stay tuned.